You know, from the shows you stream to the way you get your work done, almost everything in our modern lives runs on the cloud. It's this invisible engine that powers our world. But that reliance has also created a totally new kind of battlefield, right? A digital frontier where the stakes are higher than they've ever been. So, how on earth did we get here, and what does all this mean for our digital lives? So, let's start with a number. 127.4%. What in the world could possibly surge by that much in just 3 months? I mean, that is a massive, massive jump. And it points to a problem that's just exploding in scale, in complexity, and in speed. But what is it?
And how about this one? 42.8 million. That is the number of brute force cyber attacks, where attackers use automated software to just guess passwords over and over and over again. And that's how many targeted just one country, Kenya, in a single quarter. This wasn't some slow trickle, this was a tidal wave of automated attacks, and it just perfectly illustrates the scale of the threats we're all facing now.
To really understand this, we're going to look at what happened in Kenya. See, the country has this really bold cloud-first policy. They're aiming to transform their capital, Nairobi, into the Silicon Savannah of Africa. Now, that ambition is absolutely incredible, but it also painted a huge target on their back, putting their entire digital transformation under siege.
But to really get a handle on how an attack like this can even happen, we first have to understand the battlefield itself. We've got to decode the modern cloud, because honestly, it operates on a set of rules that are completely different from anything that came before it. To really feel the cloud's impact, let's take a quick look back at how security has evolved. For decades, it was all about physical security. Back in the mainframe era, you literally just locked the door to the computer room. Simple. Then, with the internet, we built these digital fortresses. The classic castle and moat approach. We had strong firewalls at the edge, and we just assumed anyone inside the walls was trustworthy. But the cloud, oh man, the cloud changed everything. Suddenly, your data, your apps, your users, they're all outside the castle walls. The whole idea of a perimeter has completely dissolved.
So what is the cloud, really? Well, the official definition from NIST is our gold standard. I know, it sounds a little dense, but trust me, these words are incredibly powerful. They describe a fundamental shift in how we use technology. Let's actually break down what this means for all of us, in plain English.
So these are basically the cloud's 5 superpowers. First, it's on demand, kind of like flipping a switch for more computing power whenever you need it. You can access it from anywhere, on any device. Resources are all pooled together and shared efficiently. It's elastic, meaning it can grow or shrink in an instant to meet demand. And maybe best of all, it's a measured service, so you only pay for what you actually use. These 5 things are really what make the cloud so darn transformative.
Thinking about using the cloud is a little like choosing a service. You could build everything yourself from scratch, you could rent a workshop that already has all the tools, or you could just move into a fully furnished apartment. The service you choose completely changes what you're responsible for, especially when it comes to security.
And these analogies really illustrate the 3 main models perfectly. With infrastructure as a service, or IaaS, you're basically renting the raw land. You've got to build the house and you've got to secure it. With platform as a service, or PaaS, it's like you get a workshop with all the tools. You just bring your project. And then with software as a service, or SaaS, think of your email or a CRM tool. You're just renting a furnished apartment. You use it, but the landlord handles all the maintenance and security of the building.
Okay, now this right here is probably the most important concept in all of cloud security. It's called the shared responsibility model. Look, the cloud provider always secures the physical data centers and the core infrastructure. That's their job. But you, the customer, are always responsible for your data and who can access it. See how that customer responsibility shrinks as you move from IaaS to SaaS. But, and this is the key part, it never ever disappears. This is where so many dangerous misunderstandings happen. And we're not just talking small companies. Major corporations have suffered massive breaches all because of a simple misunderstanding of this chart.
All right, let's bring this all back together. Let's go back to that massive attack on Kenya. Now that we understand the cloud a little better, we can actually perform an autopsy on this attack and see exactly where the defenses failed.
So the attackers weren't some super geniuses who broke Amazon's or Microsoft's core infrastructure. No, they just took the path of least resistance. They went after weak passwords, the fact that there was no multi-factor authentication, and systems that were just poorly configured. Now think back to that last slide. Where do all of these responsibilities fall? Yep, that's right. They are all firmly in the customer column. The attackers didn't break into the cloud. They pretty much just walked through a door that was left unlocked.
And this brings us to a really critical question. When you're facing 42 million automated attacks, how can a human security team possibly keep up? The simple answer is, they can't. The sheer scale and speed of modern threats have completely outpaced human capability. The defense has got to evolve.
And the answer, it seems, is a new kind of defender, agentic AI. Now, this isn't just about detecting threats. These are autonomous AI agents that can actually perceive what's happening, make decisions, and take direct action to defend systems, all without needing a human to tell them what to do. It's all about fighting machine speed attacks with machine speed defense.
So how would this have worked against that Kenyan attack? Well, an AI agent would be monitoring all the login attempts in real time. It would instantly identify the brute force pattern from millions of data points. So before a human could even finish their morning coffee, the agent would have already blocked the attacking IP addresses and isolated any systems that showed the slightest sign of compromise. It's a response that happens in milliseconds, not hours.
So we're left with this thought, right? Our entire world runs on the cloud. It's not just technology anymore. It's the foundation of our economy, our governments, our daily lives. The threats are evolving at this exponential, almost scary rate. So the real question is, can our defenses possibly keep up? Because the future of our digital world really depends on the answer.